homework 4, repetition with looping structures. So in this homework, you will write functions for a factorial and the greatest common divisor. Both functions will return a value. The factorial is multiplying every number from 1 up to the number by the next number and keeping a running total of it. For example, you can see here 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5, right? So you'll say 1 times 2, 2. So you save that one, and then 2 times 3, 6, and then you save that. And then you say 6 times 4, 24, and you save that, and then 6 times 5, 120, and then finally that's the value you return. The greatest common divisor is making sure that we have two numbers and we find the largest number that can divide those numbers. For example, 21 and 28, we know that 7 will divide both of them and return 0. And I've added the source code or the pseudocode for it. So this is the pseudocode. Make sure that this return statement is outside of the loop. Otherwise, your test cases will not pass. I've also set up values for the test cases. So in case of a factorial that has one parameter integer, if you provide the number 3, it should return the value 6. If you provide number 5, it should return 120. If you provide 6, it should return 720. For table 2, the greatest common divisor, you have two parameters, int num1, int num2. If you use parameters 5 and 15, the expected value is 5. If you use 21 and 28, the expected value is 7. And if you use 25 and 100, then the expected greatest common divisor is 25. You do need to make sure that you merge the previous homework, 03 conditionals branch, into the master branch. So from your home page, right? So from your home page, make sure that you're here, and then you I haven't created homework 3, but you go into a branch, right? And then you click on contribute. It'll create it won't create it for me, but it'll create a pull request for you. It'll do some basic checks and then say create pull request, and then finally you say merge the pull request. If you make changes to master from Visual Studio Code and to conditionals from Visual Studio Code, then GitHub will be confused and you will not be able to merge the branch. So always make sure that on Visual Studio Code you are always working, let me log in here, with the correct branch. So down here, you want to always make sure that you're working with the correct branch. So if you're working with homework 2, for example, then make sure that you are working with that branch. That way you don't run into those issues. Finally, create the homework 4 repetition branch, again from GitHub. Come here to your home page, make sure you are on master, type HW04 repetition, click create branch right here, and that'll create the branch. At this time, I will not create it for myself. Okay, so once you do that, you do this section, then you go to homework 4 in the source folder, into the 04 repetition folder. You'll see a DNAH and DNAHCPP file. That's where you will write the code, okay? So make sure that both functions you create return an integer, okay? So they have to return an integer. Why? Because we want to test with test cases, right? So once you write the code for those two functions, then you have to write the test cases according to the data given to you in table 1 and in table 2. For main, make sure you create a menu using a do while. I'm giving you free reign on how to create the menu. Okay, Make sure that if you select factorial, it prompts a user for a number and then calls the factorial function. If they select greatest common divisor, you prompt the user for two numbers and then call the greatest common divisor function. If a user selects 3 to exit, ask them if they really want to exit. If they do, then go ahead and terminate the program. After you are finished, submit your GitHub username in the comment section, and in Blackboard, submit the assignment for grading. And if you have questions, please post them to the discussion board. Do not send me an email, okay? Thank you.